In this video, we'll discover the Asset Browser. So the Asset Browser in Blender is a very powerful tool. So here we have the demo file that you can download as usual in the demo files of Blender. I just show you where it is, but you start to know the process. And yeah, so here we have the demo file. I just show you where it was here. Okay. So this page, and you have the cube diorama here. So it's really a good example on how to use libraries in Blender. So assets libraries like this. And here we have a demo file that you can just have some objects directly that are already in place to can click and drag directly into your project. So how it works basically it works like that. You have an object, you click and drag, and it will come directly into the surface. As you can see, you can put it on the wall, for example. It will have nonsense, but yeah, it's a possibility. So here, let's put it here, for example. So you have a dresser over there. And if I want to add something else, maybe I go there and I would like to add a side table here, maybe here. Good, a little side table. Maybe we could put a rug over there, and on top of it maybe a table. Good. Okay, and as you can see, it's so simple to add new objects like this. It sticks directly into the surface. I will make a little RZ and add another one, a little RZ as well. Okay, and very quickly you will add some really nice details into your project. Like here, I just make RZ to put it over there. Okay. And then maybe something else here to fill the space if I have something interesting. Maybe we can put something like that. Good. With RZ again. Here, like this. So just like that, you will have space that is filled. You can click and drag objects like this, for example, to add some little details into your project, like a bird cage, maybe a cat under a blanket on the wall, on the floor here, maybe some curtains as well. Okay, maybe we can add this here. Will it work well? With GZ, we put it well over there, and you can see that you will have really impressive details, very quick. So it will work really with objects and collection. It works with collections as well. It works with materials as well. And it works for, what else? It works for poses. If you play with poses for characters, for example. Maybe this one, I will put it here, less big. So yeah, you see that you have a lot of possibilities to add little details everywhere. I want a teapot. Let's go. I want a teacup. Let's go. Another one. Let's go. And very easy. You create your scene very quickly like that. So this is it. And while you have your objects, you can still change the shaders. For example, let's say we would like another wood on the floor. Okay, so you can play with the shaders that you have here. So you see that I have different ones here. You can change it just like that by click and drag as well. Yeah, and it works for world, so it will work with HDRI worlds as well. So let's say you want some metal, you put some metal into it, okay. Or maybe you want to change the teapot into a porcelain black. Let's go for that. And then you have it. So very easy to manage, but the goal is to know how to organize this and how to create yourself your own libraries. So you can buy some libraries, and it's a possibility to go on Blender Market, for example. I think the name did change. No, it's not Blender Market anymore. I don't want to tell you bad things. So it's Super Hive Market now. Okay, you see, Super Hive Market. So you will see more or less the things that you can do with assets. You can buy some plants, you can buy some jewels, you can buy a lot of stuffs like this, furniture, cars, cities, a lot of possibilities with that. But how to make your own? So for this, we will start with a new file. Like this, you will understand how it works basically. Okay, so let's do that just like this. The first thing that you have to do is to create a folder when you will put all your assets. So first of all, let's go there and go into the preferences and go into the system. Here you have a few things over there with the save and load file path. And here you have different libraries that I did put already. So I will remove everything. You will have a folder by default, but maybe you want to make your own, and that's what we will do here. So I will just add a new one, and I will go into the folder exploring the asset browser, and I will make a subfolder here. You can click on this, or you can just add the name of the folder here and click enter, and it will create the folder. So here, let's call it assets test. Okay, we create a folder. So now we are here. Okay, and I add this folder to the asset library. So now everything that will be linked as an asset into this folder, into blend files into this folder, will be into the asset library. So now how it works to add things into this asset here. So I will just save the preferences in case, and I will open maybe another blend file that could be useful. For that, maybe we will add objects like this. For example, let's go into painting with image, the last one we did use. Okay. Here we have a few objects that we could add like this. So I will just make the mug, take the mug here in object mode, and here into the collection, I can just make a right click and mark it as asset. Okay. So now this object is marked as an asset. You can see that there is a little library icon over there that wasn't here before. Let's tell that I want to have my entire character. I can do that, and I can take everything. If I don't want to have just an object, I can take an entire collection. So you just right click into the collection and mark as asset. And you can make the same, for example, if we go with, and we have to save it somewhere that we did put. Where did it put? We did put the subfolder. So where it was here, 11, exploring this one. We take the asset test and we save this. The name is not important, but let's call it assets 1. Okay. And then after, you can open something else maybe. Okay, let's go maybe to the unwrapping. We have some basic models here that we can take, like the table. Okay, I can take this table, mark it as an asset with a right click. Okay, good. And maybe now in this one, I would like to have this material here that I can call wood. Okay, so for that, I just have to right click into that and make mark an asset as an asset. And now I make a save as into the asset test folder, and I will call it assets 2. Good. Maybe I can do a last one to show you something else. Okay, I will open a new one. Maybe we will use HDRI images to show you that it works with the world as well. Okay, So let's go into HDRI images. So now we have, I think, an HDRI world here, as you can see, and you can use it as an asset as well. If you go to the world here, you can just, you see that you have an easy HDRI. You can call it Victoria Sunset, for example. Okay. And you can make a right click and mark everything as an asset here. Okay. And let's go with Suzanne as well. It's here. So let's mark an asset into Suzanne. And we save this file into the folder asset tests. If it's not into this folder, you will cannot see it into the asset browser after. So now I just create a new file, and let's say I would like to apply in my new file there's objects, import there's objects first. So here I can go to the asset browser here, and you can see that we have a few already, but what I want here is just the asset test here. And you can see that we have a few over there. It's not really everything that I wanted, but you can see that we have the cup, that we have the character that is here, that we have the Suzanne that is here, and we have the wood maybe somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? We have Victoria Sunset, the HDRI, and we have others because in the last, into the other objects I did, into the file that I did save, we had some other objects as well that was already assets, that were already assets, but we have already, we come back with our objects. So I can import the Suzanne here and it will work. I can import here the mug here and it will work as well, you see. And you can play with all the shaders that you did or whatever. Here you see that you have the wood that we did use. It's here, the table, it's here as well, okay? If I want to put the shader into Suzanne, the wood shader into Suzanne, it will not be a problem and work seamlessly, just like this. So you see that it works pretty well. Same for the character, and the character it's a little different because it's an entire collection. So you will add a collection when you click and drag like this, okay? And you see that you have the entire collection here. The only thing that you have to be sure is when you add this collection, you put everything at 0 here, like this, it's where in the center, like before, and you will remove the instance. If you keep the instance, you will cannot go in edit mode, for example, in a part or something like that. It will just stay like this. But if you just disable instance, it will add the real objects and you will come back with the different objects that was here before, okay? So it can be a very powerful method to add your own things. You want to create a light, just go into Victoria Sunset, click and drag, and now you have your light Victoria Sunset, as you can see. So yeah, it is very, very powerful. So you can make a lot of different things with that. Let's go back into SuperHive here. And here, if I search for different categories here, okay, if I search for assets, you see that you have some very big libraries that you can buy for really not that much, not that expensive, and that will really add some possibilities to build your projects quickly. It doesn't mean that you don't have to model sometimes, but for adding some decorations or your urban trash like this or things like that, here you have the Empire of Sand. You have some yeah, so some old architecture like this. So yeah, you have a lot of possibilities. So you can buy your own folder and you receive a folder, you unzip it somewhere, and then after you add it into this list. So when you go there into preferences, you add a new one, you add this folder, and you will have your assets directly here. So it's very powerful. I would like to show you an example with the BaggerPy add-on that has already a lot of assets inside, and that's what we will do in the next video. In this video, we'll discover how to use the BaggerPy add-on to add some nice assets directly into Blender. So this will be focused more or less for architecture and this kind of creation, environment design as well. So there is a free version and a paid version of this add-on, but the free version is already so much powerful that it will be a crime to not talk about it to you. So let's go with that, and we will go to edit preferences and into the add-ons. First of all, we have to install the add-on. So it's inside the extensions by default, and you will search BaggerPy, Bagger like this, and you will just install this. You just wait a little. It should not take too much time, so it seems that it's already installed here. And under the add-on section, you will find the BaggerPy. Here you have a lot of things that can happen here. What we would like to use is to play with the assets here. So you have to set up BaggerPy's parametric library here. And here you can set asset packs that you can download with the paid version if you want to add vegetations or things like that. Everything is included into the paid version of the BaggerPy add-on, and it's a very, very powerful add-on. Saves you a lot of time, especially for environment things. So here, let's go there, and we will just set up the BaggerPy's parametric library here. Okay, it's done. It's now visible in your libraries. How you see it? You go into the asset browser. Let's go into the asset browser over there. And now you can see that if I just click on all libraries here, I have the BaggerPy modifier section over there that will help you to have already a bank of shaders here, a bank of fences, and everything is well, as you can see, organized, and you have several subfolders, like for example the beams, the extras, the fence, the handrails, the shaders, the roof, the sidings, for example, the stairs, the walls. So yeah, a lot of things that you can play with. How it works, basically very easy. For example, let's take a fence, maybe like for example that one, and you can just go there, remove everything, and just click and drag your fence, and that's what you will have. Very easy. Now with these objects are parametrics. So what does it mean? It means that here, if you go into the options of BaggerPy, you can see that you have a lot of options directly, and it's really easy to use with height, within, height, a lot of things that you, thickness and everything. So for example, the main here, you can play with the height, or you can play with the offset like this, okay? You want the wall or not? And you want the fence vertical or not? You want the timber posts or not? Okay, or the fixation or not? Okay, if it's horizontal, vertical, everything that is possible to make with this, you will use it very easily with this. So the option of the wall lets you manage the height of the wall, and the entire object will adapt itself. As you can see, the within of the wall, for example, if you want an even thickness or things like that. So yeah, you can see that it's really powerful. If you go to the curve option here, you can go into edit mode, and you can draw your curve directly on the wall. Like for example, if you go there and you want to drag something like this, you will have your fence all over this, and you can see that it's very powerful. Now you can just remove this once, for example, and now you have this. So if you have, for example, maybe something that you want to add on a surface, or on maybe on a little, let's add one on a little landscape. Okay, so let's go there. I think we did see that already together. No, we didn't see the end landscape yet. So yeah, we will see that later, sorry. I don't want to give you too much information, but as you can see, if you have just a little map that you want to use like this, so it will be very easy to use and to click and drag like that and make your own here map just easily like this. As you can see, you have directly your fence, and it works with all the fences styles that you have here. So for example, let's say I would like to add another one here. You play with the curve again, you go in edit mode, you just click and drag here to draw something, and you will have your fence with this style. So as you can see, it's very, very powerful, save you a lot of time. Imagine that you have to make this by hand, it will be a mess. So yeah, I really recommend you to use this. When you go into the renders, here you have already the shaders that are in place. You can change the shaders by going here into the modifiers. Here you will have the material basis that you can use into this. So let's say, for example, you would like to change that one. You just go and change it to the metal, let's say. Okay, it's nonsense, but yeah, just to show you that it's here that you choose the shader that you have. Okay, so very easy to work with that. You have some handrails, for example, so it's more for it can work with inside design as well, but for outside around the pool or something like that, okay, you just click and drag this, you go in edit mode as usual, and then you just draw like this, and you will have this one that will appear in the right place. So you see, it's so easy to use it, and very satisfying to use that. So let's go into the shaders, and maybe I will make Control Z like this. I still have this. You can click and drag if needed the shaders that you want. Let's say you don't want this wood here, you just click and drag the wood here, and or maybe use it here. It will not work as expected. So in that case, yeah, you cannot, because it's a parametric object. You will have to choose it here from here. But for example, I want the wood dark instead of the wood normal. I just click here, and I will have my wood dark. Okay, so yeah, quite easy to understand. But if you have another object, like for example, that you did create yourself, like a monkey or thing like this, you just click and drag, and you will have your shader directly into it. Same for the metal blue, same for the glass here. So you will have a lot of possibilities just with these little shaders. Already for architecture, you will have almost everything, and then after you can come back to the shader and play. It's just a shader with textures like we did create together, so not that complicated. You just have to change little colors or things like that to make your own, and it's quite easy to do. Okay, so let's come back into the layout here. I will remove everything. You have some roofs, so it will be roofs parts, like for example, let's go with this one here. Okay, so you have a roof part like this very easily. You can choose a new material if it's not here. You can play with different settings over there. So you have different types of roofs like this. You can play with different settings here, over there. You have the resolution, you have the length, the entire length here. You have the height if you want to increase the height, the width over there. Okay, so And here you have the repartition. You can increase the number here over there to have a bigger one here. Okay, so you see you have the angle as well. If you want to change the angle, very easy to manage this. And after, you just have to shift into the y-axis, make a RZ 180 and GY to apply this to a real one. So yeah, very easy, and save you again a lot of time to do that. So as you can see, for architecture, it's really a game changer here. You have the sidings that you can put outside or inside with different styles as well. I will not come back into it. It's the same method here. You will have the possibility to add this like that, okay? And then after, just change the distance here or other parameters that are here, okay? What is good with this technique is that you have actually a plane in edit mode. When you go on top view here, you select the two vertices over there, and when you are on top view in orthographic view, you just extrude that and it will give you the same thing. So it has to be with an angle here or it will not work. Okay, so here that one works only into the x-axis, but yeah, as you can see, you can play with the y-axis as well and with different settings. So yeah, very interesting. Again, extrude into the x-axis this time, and you will have this kind of object very easily. You can create an entire wall for that. Talking about wall, we have some walls here that you can play with as well, exactly the same technique. So you just click and drag this one. Now you go in edit mode and you just have to select here a dot and just extrude that to have something sharp. Okay, so let's go there, maybe extrude that to have something sharp again, and extrude again, and you can see that it makes this kind of pattern very easily as well. You have the wall brick height, thickness, length, so much things to improve your designs and make it very, very realistic, very quick. Okay, and then you have the stairs here. We didn't see the stairs yet, but as you can see, yeah, it's not complicated to understand. You just click and drag, you have your stairs. You can put the height, for example, here it's 4 meters, but you can increase the height if needed. Okay, you can play with all the settings. You can invert the curve if needed over there. So yeah, you have the rotation, so by default it's 1, but you can increase this at 2, for example, if you want to make 2 turns. So yeah, so much possibilities and so easy to manage that it will be a shame to not use that, honestly. And with all the shaders that are included already, you can see here. So this one will not appear well because we are into Eevee there, but if I use the ray tracing here, you will see that it's a glass, okay, that will let transparency go there. So yeah, very, very good, very easy to manage architecture with this kind of techniques. Okay, and you have the beams here, so same kind of object over there. You just have a basic one and then you just play with the settings here and it will adapt perfectly. Okay, so that's why I wanted you to know about this BagaPi add-on, because it's a good way to understand the asset browser. Very easy to use. You just go into your asset browser, you just tell BagaPi modifier here, and you will have your objects directly. So don't hesitate to use that. Into the next video, we will see how to use the asset browser for the Polyheaven website. In this video, we will see how to work with the Polyhaven asset library. So we did see that here into Polyhaven website, we have some HDRIs, we have a lot, as you can see. You have some textures, okay? As you can see as well, we have a lot here. And you have some objects as well, some models that are already ready to use as well. So as you can see, there are a lot of things here. If I just go, for example, into the nature, you will have very nice objects that are already prepared to make some creations for environments or things like that. So let's go into that. You can see that there is an add-on here. This add-on you can download it by going to the Blender market. It will cost $30, sorry. And yeah, but as everything is CC0 into the website, you can download this without paying. I honestly, for the price and what it will give you as an help, I really recommend you to pay for this add-on because it's so useful. And look at this, you have 800 HDRIs, you have here 600 textures, and you have almost 400 really professional models here. So this will be again a savior of time here for your projects and what you want to do with Blender. Very, very powerful, very professional. So I cannot recommend to not pay this add-on because they put a lot of work into that first. And it's the way that they add more. You can see that, for example, here, if you go into HDRI, you see that a few are blurred and not ready yet. It's here, you can see about the support. Before there was a little slider here. No, it's not here anymore. So yeah, you can see that it's because you add more financial things into that you will have the possibility to have it from here. So they wait until they have enough support, and after they can work on new textures, on new designs or things like that. Okay, so that's why it will be almost non-fair to not participate about that. But if you can really not pay this add-on, you can go there. You just click here into this address here, make a right click over there, and you just download the zip file. Okay, it will give you a zip file that you can install directly. So let's do that together. Okay, let's go there and download the zip here. I will have my download manager that will manage this, and then after here I will have a zip file into my folder. Okay, so what I can do is that I can just go into Blender now, in edit preferences. You just go and into the add-on section and go into the little arrows here in install from disk here. And now if I go into the download section, I will have the polyasset main.zip. I install this from the disk. I wait a little and I have Polyhaven assets, as you can see. So it will download directly here, everything into an asset library named Polyhaven. Okay, so for example here I know that I have already an asset directory, so I will just go into file path here, add a new directory. So here for me it's just into this folder that I will have assets over there, and the name has to be perfectly the same. So okay, so you go there, you call this one assets Polyhaven, so it has to be this folder that will have you put it everywhere into your computer, it will work. And then after it, they will download all the resource from the website. So I add this asset library, okay? And maybe I call it Polyhaven. No, it needs to be Polyhaven, sorry. So I remove this one, add a new one, okay? And call it it's that one, Polyhaven. Yeah, and it has already the assets for me because I did download already, I did use already this. And now it's finished. Don't forget to save your preferences. I save preferences and now I'm happy. Now I can go into this folder over there into asset browser. You can see that it starts to update. And now I can go into my Polyhaven section and you can see that I will find all the HDRIs directly here. So imagine the gain of time, you have everything there. And what is good is this, you don't have all the options that you have with the HDRI here, the Easy HDRI add-on, but you have already some. Like for example, let's take just a little model here. I have some models too, so let's go into models. And I will just add maybe a statue, this marble bust here, over there, okay? When I add and that it's a collection, don't forget to remove the instance and add it into the center over there. Like this, it will be well centered, okay? So you can see that you just have this object with a texture here, so nothing, so works perfectly. And now if I want to add an HDRI, I just click and drag into the world. And you can see that I have my HDRI that will work perfectly directly into it. So how easy is that stuff? Now you can go here into the nodes into this, and you can play with the rotation if needed, okay? You can play with the strains in case you need more strains. You can play with the warmth if you want something that goes more to the red, or decrease if you want something that goes to the blue. For example, it can be useful. And you can play with the tint as well. Okay, but yeah, it's you don't have all the options that you have here. Like for example, in Easy HDRI, you have the possibility to hide behind, so it's always interesting to have. You can create your own folder. You have a lot of possibilities there. When you did create a world node and everything, you have more possibilities. But honestly, sometimes just this works perfectly. And yeah, you cannot choose the size of the texture. So let's come back with the texture behind us. You can see that by default, it should be 2K maybe for the, yeah, I would say 1K or 2K for the background, so it will not be perfectly sharp. So if you want something really sharp, you will have to download the 8K or the 16K, but you cannot do it from the add-on. But already, look at this. Everything is well organized. You have the indoor section, you have the artificial light, natural light, studio. Into the outdoor, you have the nature, the skies, the urban. Everything is already here inside Blender, nothing to do. So honestly, it will be almost unfair, like I told you, to not pay a little. So I show you how it works to have it free, but honestly, please make them a support if you can. I know that sometimes it's not possible, but if you are really in 3D and that use this a lot, and if you gain just a little of money with that, please give them a support for that. So you have all the furnitures here, okay? You can see that you have a lot already. So it's a little old style. That's my only let's say criticism into that. But yeah, very good stuff over there. You have some industrial stuff here. You have some lightings over there. You have some nature props. So look at this. you can just add a tree very easily into your into the world, just like that, and you will have it very easily. And look, it's detailed, it's realistic, it works pretty well, and all the assets are very well done. And sometimes you have some grass into it too, so it comes with it comes with some particles into it. And so let's say you have this object here and you have the particle system that is here. Okay, you can add a particle system like this into whatever object. Let's go into a monkey, for example. Okay, and you would like to add this particle system into that. So it's called particle system. You add a new, and now you go to particle settings and you take that one, and it will appear directly into your object. So sometimes can be useful to play with that, to add some grass somewhere or something like that. Anyway, we will explore particles more into the next chapters. So here, as you can see, you have a lot of stuff that you can use. Some rocks, some parts maybe of mountains, if you want to put in the background or things like that. Some rock face here. So you see everything is well organized inside nature. You have the ground covers, the plant, the pots, the rocks. And you have the props here that you, for little decoration that you can add. And you have some textures. Like for example, let's add another object. Let's remove this background that it's a little disturbing over there. Okay. Maybe we can add a new object, like for example here, let's add a monkey, let's say, or maybe just a plane, just to show you the result here. And you just have to click and drag and it will show directly the result. So very easy. Okay, some are already with the displacement value. So if you add a modifier, generate subdivision surface into it with a simple and add some subdivision, you can see that, and I will add more subdivision to it inside edit view like this. So you can see that now you will even have the surface that will move directly, okay? And it will work with rocks, for even better with rocks, for example. Let's go with rock, or maybe terrain like that. And if you click and drag just like this, it will take some time to handle, and maybe the strength of the area rock is too strong. So you go to shading here and you just go, it's simple materials that exactly the same that we did use, as you can see. And when we did create some textures, some shaders, sorry, with texture sets, so you can go into this video if you don't understand that. But if you did follow this video, it will not be complicated for you, and you just play with the scale here over there. Okay, so maybe something like that will be good. And look, you have all the rocks that goes outside directly. Very, very realistic. Directly, just click and drag into it. So that's why it's really a powerful tool here that you have in your hand to create nice details directly. You have some plasters, you have some fabric, some bricks. As you can see, easy to use, click and drag, what I can tell, easy. If the size doesn't look like you want, you just can go into your shader here and you play with this value, the scale value. If you increase that, okay, you just click and drag and you take 3 at once like this. If you increase that, it will multiply the number of textures, so 5 times here. And if you decrease that, it will just make something bigger. Okay, zoom into it. So yeah, 50, it will repeat too much, but 5 looks still good. Okay, so that's why it's very good to have this polyheaven. Actually, I use it always. So don't hesitate to make the same over there, and don't hesitate to make a little support if you can to their website. Usually I don't tell their things to support whatever, But yeah, it's so much stuff for free that it will be unfair to not support them. So that's it for this video. As you can see, this asset here, this asset brother over there, it's a very powerful tool and actually quite simple to use, but I really wanted you to know how it works, how to create your own, how to use the folder when you receive a folder from internet if you buy one. So like this, you know how to know that, and how to use this with BugAPI and with Polyheaven as well. So it was important for me. Like this, you will save time, and when you work with 3D, it's sometimes very time consuming to make a project. So yeah, if you can have something quicker, it's always good. So that's why I wanted to share this with you. And we will go into the next chapter for the next video. The next chapter will be about the essential add-ons that are available in Blender for free. I will not cover everything there because, as you can see, into the preferences, there are a lot of add-ons here. You can go into the website Blender extensions for that to discover that, but we will see that into the next chapter and into the next video.